medicine and being a doctor in the community and providing healthcare to everybody that needs it, regardless of their background and social need.
Hi, my name's Phil and my thing is sport and young people.
Okay, my thing is being a mum, being a wife and family.
I'm a GP in Chatham at the King's Family Practice, which for most of the time is down in near Luton Arches. I also do a surgery up in Gillingham. It is a good job and I love my job. It's great to be able to interact with people and make a difference in their lives. We've got over 10,500, nearly 11,000 patients, and that's a significant proportion of Medway's community in central Chatham. So, you know, by hopefully influencing them just on even snapshot consultations over time, you know, over many years, you can just feed into people, and hopefully with time it will change the community as well. I also work at Caring Hands, which is a homeless day centre run by King's Church in Chatham, and I go there one lunchtime a week and provide a drop-in medical clinic. So we see the clients that go to Caring Hands that are homeless or are in temporary accommodation. We register them as our patients, which historically has been quite difficult for homeless people to register with a doctor. So we register them and then provide the healthcare that they need. Most of the time it's quite similar to a normal general practice clinic, but there's obviously issues surrounding their homelessness, and particularly with substance misuse and addictions as well. For me, that's the challenge of being a doctor, but as a Christian, I see an importance in providing care to these people, which is of high quality. And you know, I work as a doctor in a way that God kind of would want me to work as a doctor. So I look at the whole person. I try to engage with them in terms of looking at their medical problems, their mental health problems, emotional issues, and if appropriate, spiritual problems. So I see them as the whole person, and it's really important to me to provide holistic health care. When I was at medical school, I had, in fact, just before I left medical school, I had the Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is upon you to bring good news to the poor, bind up the brokenhearted. That whole passage sort of prayed over me, and that's something that I've really lived with. And coincidentally, when I joined the practice, that was sort of the passage that the practice was founded on. It was founded as a Christian practice, and that same passage was what kind of has founded the practice. So the whole ethos of the practice was built on that. And so for me, having that as a personal kind of scripture, just, you know, when I found that out at the job interview, I was like, yeah, this is where I'm meant to be. So, and that's something I do live with in terms of, you know, this is why I'm doing it. It's, you know, I'm here to show God's love to this community. I think in the way that the things that motivate me, I want to do the best I can, almost as if the patients in front of me are, you know, Jesus, in a sense, that I want to show them, you know, want to serve them. That's my thing, try and do my work in the most professional and loving way that I can, and be compassionate. There have been times where you've been able to signpost people into church-related services and things. So certainly there's one lady that I can think of who I signposted up to Caring Hands. She got drawn into the Caring Hands community and then drawn into King's Church and has actually been baptised and made a commitment. God called the church to make disciples, and you know, if we're just a holy huddle, then we're not going to do that. And so for me, it is really important to be out there in the community, using the skills that we've got in our profession or in our business, or the things that we're trained to do, to kind of be witnesses in the community, but also to sort of do projects and you know, be involved in the community. So for example, Just for Jingles, you know, it is important to me to be here meeting mums in the community and you know, trying to influence them with God's love. It is about church being out there in the community, and even engaging with other things that are going on in the community, other community projects, and just going in as Christians and just being a light in those things to build community and yeah, draw people together. That's really important.
Well, I was an athlete. I was a triple jumper. I was quite successful in that for quite a few years. But I kind of let my eye go off the ball, so to speak. I kind of instead of making my athletics about God and glorifying Him, I sort of made it more about myself. After a lot of soul searching and things, I decided I wanted to do a career in helping other people, teaching them about things that's inspired me. And that's why I do what I do today. My life's been devoted to sport, really, sport and the church, I suppose. And the combination of the two things have led me to do what I do today, and that is teaching young people that have come out of school without any qualifications, and trying to get them into work, trying to get them to feel positive about themselves, and to realise they have got a purpose in life. I work all over Kent, predominantly Maidstone and Ashford, and I teach young people from 16 to 18 skills and trying to get them to be work ready, basically, to get them into jobs. And I spend half of my week doing that, so building up their self-esteem and confidence, and then the other half of the week I teach them about sport and how sports can help them in day-to-day life, how it can be a real career for them, how it can make them feel better about themselves, and all sorts of things like that. A lot of the young people that I work with have got problems at home, social problems, family issues and things like that. Well, I've got lots of stories where I've been able to help young people, and I think it's through God that's happened, and that's why I'm in the job I'm in. But a few cases of young people where they've come to me and spoken to me about self-harming, alcohol and drug abuse, and I've really spoke to them, sat down with them and asked them to look at their lives and to see why they're doing it and how this is fulfilling their lives, basically. And I've through a lot of prayer, meeting up with them one-to-one basis quite regularly, they've overcome those issues, and they've really been able to turn their lives around onto a path that is hopefully going to be a successful one for them. I don't think I would have gone into this job if I didn't think I could inspire people, but I feel that I could only be in the position I am now through Jesus, because He's the one that's given me the confidence, He's the one that's given me the skills to be able to do what I do, and I think those skills have made me the person who I am, made me approachable, caring, and a person that young people like to be around, and I think that's all due to Him. Obviously, in the job I do, I'm not allowed to preach to them and to talk to them about God as much as I'd like to, but I'm hoping that doors will open where I can perhaps see them on out and about, and I'll be able to invite them along to church, and hopefully the longer that I'm in the job, the more connected I become with the young people, then this will become a reality rather than just something that I want to do in the future. Training in athletics, if you're going for it and you want to be good at it, you have to be dedicated. And I was training at least 10 times a week, early mornings to late in the night, and yeah, I always made sure that I would glorify God and kept my Sundays free. Not to compete that often meant that 9 times out of 10 I'd often have to miss competitions, but it was important to me. Obviously, Jonathan Edwards was a great role model for me, being a triple jumper. I met him on several occasions, and he really inspired me to do what I did. But yeah, I really wanted to do athletics to glorify God, and I knew from a young age that I could be good at it, and that a lot of people would be able to see what I did, and when they ask me questions about why I do this and who do I do it for, then God would be my answer. So the great thing about sport is that it's an international language. You could go to any country in the world and they'd know the rules of football, various other sports. So you can. That's a great way of being able to encounter with people and to be able to have common ground with people. I would really love it especially with the Olympics this year, that there were real good, God-loving, Christians that were role models for young people, that would be able to show young people that they don't do it for the money, they don't do it for their sort of celebrity status, but they do it because they want to glorify God. They believe that their abilities and their talents are from God, and that they should be used to glorify Him and not for any other reason.
My thing, being a mum, for me started nearly 9 years ago now, when I had my first daughter, and 2 years later I had another son, and then 2.5 years later we had another son, so now I have 3 children. So a day-to-day for me will involve a lot of washing up, a lot of washing, a lot of cleaning, cooking and shopping, a lot of driving people to and fro, and a lot of talking, a lot of sorting out problems, sorting out arguments, discussing the way our family's going, that kind of thing. For me, the best definition of a mum I've heard is, I think it's the Hebrew definition, is that a mum is the one that binds a family together. And so I feel really passionate about being a mum. I think when you see the photos of kids and families, you can get fooled into thinking it's such a gooey, lovely, soppy thing to be, but actually I think the reason we take so many photos is because being a mum can be really hard work, and we take the photos to remind us of those good times. I think on a day-to-day basis mums can get weary of another potty to clean out, another bottom to wipe, another pile of washing, another pile of washing up, and on worse days a mum can go home or be at home and just think, what's my life become? I'm just a dressing gown wearing housekeeper, and be totally worn out and actually think, who am I? What is my life become? All my life is just about other people. And I think that's the worst case scenario for being a mum, and you can lose a sense of what it's all really about. So the reason I'm passionate about mothers and mums and family life is because I actually believe it's such a vital part to our wider society, that there's a lot of pressure as well on people. It's about our lives, about our value is in what we do and who we are, and for me that's been a massive struggle, because being a mum sometimes isn't particularly valued, and I sense a pressure on women to achieve a lot of things, but often being a mum is not necessarily valued, and it's maybe your value is in how high up the qualification scale you've been, or how much money you're getting, and obviously you don't need any qualifications to be a mum, and you don't get paid, so you feel like this isn't a valuable job. But I think that if we can present to society again, actually being a mum itself is incredibly valuable and is an integral part of our society, then I think that would turn a tide in helping families be strong. I believe that raising healthy, when I say healthy I mean spiritually, emotionally healthy, secure children, that will make a massive influence on society, because I just think it starts right from birth, really, how people, whether they feel accepted, whether they feel loved, whether they've been trained about how to deal with issues in their lives that will affect how they go on to live their lives. I couldn't be a mum without the constant input of the Bible, its practical advice, and also just reminding me of God's plan, God's bigger picture, God's love for me and value of me, and then just prayer as well, just being in God's presence, being strengthened, refreshed. And often when you've got very small children, a lot of that time would just be sleeping in God's presence, because I couldn't love my children, be patient with them, gentle with them, unless I'd known God's patience and gentleness and kindness towards me first. Sharing our faith and discipling our kids doesn't just happen. Over the years we've looked at and re-looked at and failed and started again, lots of different things, but we do try and make it our aim to bring Jesus into everything. So practically we've just again started sitting down daily with the kids, reading through Bible stories with them, and we pray with them at night. But the most important times, I think, are actually the times you don't plan with them, the times when they come and want to talk to you about stuff, and often it's at the most inconvenient time, late at night, early in the morning. But those are the times when you're just role modelling faith, and you're just saying to them, oh, why are you feeling like that? I feel like that sometimes. This is what I do when I feel like that. This is what God's done. Talking to them about prayers. When we were trying to move house, we talked to them, we prayed with them about that. Just involving them as you would with anyone else in every part of your life, just bringing Jesus into it, making it really, really real. I love the fact that you're always getting to meet new people, you're getting to meet your children's friends, you're getting to meet their parents, you're getting to meet people on the playground, inviting people back to my home or going back to other people's homes, and I love that. I love the fact that you just get to meet a lot of people, and I think that's one of the blessings and the graces of being in a family, that it's always moving, there's always people to meet, you always can be available to be in a community, getting involved with a school, offering to pray at school for things, just bringing in God's kingdom to all those different communities. Another great time was when we celebrated our 10th anniversary, and that alone was a great opportunity to say to people, we really value our marriage, we really value our relationship, and to celebrate it. And I think that was an opportunity just to sort of share. We value it, but it's not always been easy. Being able to talk to people, to say we've had our fair share of problems to work through and arguments to contend with, and I try and be real with people. I try and say, of course, we argue, I get stressed, the kids, but it's bringing God into it and knowing that His peace, and also knowing that when you work things out His way, actually God is a God of order, not a God of chaos. And when we've got good relationships, and when we're forgiving, and when we're talking things through, actually you don't have to expect chaos, you don't have to expect anxiety. And often we live in this thing of, oh, it's just like that, family life is just like that.